Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing today? This is a volcano alert. All right, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing on this 22nd of January 2019? I'm your Planetary Defense Commander, Star-Lord Newt Thor 7. We're taking a look at the weather. We had our storm pass through over the weekend. It was not as bad as I thought it would be, but we still got some bad spots and instant freeze in some areas. The models have been off. Nobody got it totally correct. Some did better than others. And this is a rinse and reload pattern, as I mentioned before, that I think we will be seeing some form of this storm freeze for at least a month to 2 months. Now we're starting off with Danny Rojo's Garden, talking about how ruptured ground around Ambren volcano forces evacuations in Vanuatu. The volcanoes have been popping for the last 2 years. And I thought I retweeted another one of his. Okay, Michael Ventris still feels strongly that the week of January 28th to February 4th will be the coldest week of the winter, 2018-2019, the lower 48. I gotta go back a second because one of his tweets is important. Oh, man. Okay. Where are we at? What the hell? Okay. We can do it. Fail on my part. How are you doing this morning? What are you wearing? How's life treating you? Anyway, I was saying that they've had strong volcanic activity at Italy's volcano, and it mentioned all the volcanoes that we've been having strong activity at since the end of 2018, and we've been having strong volcano activity around. All right, now we're looking at Jim Cantori 2 hours ago. Look at the mess outside what is still the Logan airports. Still signs of flash freeze everywhere, but it's the wind that has been this airport's Achilles heel. At least the sunrise is nice. Because, yeah, they've got frozen water everywhere. Some spots did get hit by an instant freeze. Some spots did not. Shelley Jackson driving the boys to school. We had to stop to salute the sun gods and dogs. Only had the iPhone, but still took an excellent picture. Yep, sun dogs everywhere. The sun is changing. Earth is changing. But humanity is not changing. Cranky weather guy. We have heavy rain, icing, and snow on the way tonight into tomorrow. And that will be hitting parts of these states. If you know their names, congratulations, you're better at geography than I do. I am. Yep, I walked 7 miles last night. My body is like ugh. I had some car trouble again. Oy vey. Eric Fisher. Strong odds of topping 50 degrees Fahrenheit Thursday for Boston, south and east. We'll put a dent in our icy mess, but replace it with a flooded mess instead. Because like I said, there are a lot of parts in the Northeast that are undergoing the icing problems. And the thing is, and this brings up the situation where you're saying, hey, look, on Thursday we're getting up to 50 degrees. And I'm saying, yeah, because this storm is hitting, bringing in the Atlantic Ocean heat from the storm. So it's going to warm up just long enough to rain a lot. And then guess what? It's freezing again on Friday. And so whatever leftover precipitation during this storm, we're going to go through this cycle quite a few times. Let's watch it, shall we? Okay, so this is today, and I'm hitting the button, and it's moving forward. And so as we can see, our big storms kind of kick up, bringing ice, sleetish, mixed precipitation mess to the middle of the central United States. And then it moves forward as it rotates around the Azores High. And the Gulf Coast is going to get soaked. And down here, showing heavy rain signals for Alabama, Mississippi, Georgia, Florida, South, North Carolina. And then the heavy precipitation will be nasty for South and North Carolina. Then you'll get more of a rain into snow, freeze, wintry mix again. See, that's Thursday. So it's warming up just enough to freeze. And then you get your plunging Arctic air coming in. And then up on Sunday, kind of starts up again where the moisture does some wacky stuff, goes back up through Florida. And then you have the possibility of two fronts meeting up. I don't think they meet up on this model, but it is something we're going to watch out for. Right now they're split, but if those two things come together in a Quetzalcoatl storm, it would be even more nastier. So we just had our storm yesterday through the weekend. I don't even know what day today is. And so you have your next storm by the 24th, like I said, and then you have the storm after that by the 28th. So that we're in like a 4-day, we're in like a big storm every 4-day pattern. And it just started. Remember last year we got hit by wave after wave after wave of nor'easters? Well, this is going to be, I don't know, it's a volcanic winter, so I wouldn't call them nor'easters. There's still big storms. And hey, West Coast, are you noticing? You guys, it looks to be like you're getting back into the wet pattern. This is like a week out, 10 days out. So you can't even trust anything 48 hours out these days. So we're just monitoring this pattern as it brings in the rain again and again. And then the Gulf Coast gets smushied. Now, this does not have this storm passing up the northeast, but I bet that will change the closer we get to it. It's a guess, though. I don't even know. Like I said, you want to watch the together, the temperature forecast, baby? You and I must make a pact. Right, so that's right now. As you can see, it's kind of cold. And so these areas stay pretty frozen-y through Wednesday, and then possibly on Wednesday would be when it heats up enough to melt some of the snow and ice. But then, boom, right after the storm moves out, you get the freeze moving in again. You know, there's a possibility of an instant freeze. Will it happen? I do not know. I think it might happen in some areas, and in other areas it might not. As you can see on Saturday, whoa, we had that one. So I know we got freezing coming to Texas at some point. So it was interesting. Snow day, I don't know. Usually the main freeze is coming after the storm. And considering we've got some volcanic magma heat going on down here, you had volcanic vents in the Dominic Islands and I forget the other island down here that were venting in the end of December. And the heat is starting to show back up around this area. And so that could be pretty nasty. Yeah, so it looks like Houston could get into a freeze by the end of the month. Definitely. Down into Mexico. And just watch this fire and ice fight going on. It's pretty incredible. It's really incredible. Are you doodling? Who doodles? Does anybody doodle anymore? Do people use pen and paper? Is that a thing? All right, let's watch the Euro version of this weekend storm. While I tell you something that I think is funny, you may find it offensive. You know, it's 2019. You never know with people. Okay, so early when they had the big high school shooting, right? Everybody, like on the conservatives, were yelling at the one kid, David Hogg. It was a high school kid. And then they had the, I don't know, something on, at some march where some conservative MAGA kids were staring down a veteran who's a Native American. And so everybody on the liberal side was yelling at all the high school kids all day and all night, Saturday and Sunday and Monday. And so it's like, you guys are talking about high school kids, man. Like, if you're teeing off on high schoolers, that is a bad sign. You know, like if I spent 4 days talking about 18-year-old cheerleaders, people would be all freaked out. Like, that is disgusting. You know, how dare you go? They're too young to date. It's too young to date an 18-year-old high school kid, even though it's legal, because they have fragile eggshell minds. Well, if they have fragile eggshell minds as an 18-year-old cheerleader, then they have fragile 18-year-old minds as dumbass dudes, man. So teeing off on high school kids is just a sign of how crazy everybody's gotten in their like aimless righteousness for their team wins. Anyway, I wanted that to be funnier. It was not. But as you can see, we got some blizzard warnings all across the Dakotas. You got some very cold areas. There was like a negative 75 somewhere yesterday. Dang, I should have looked it up. But as you can see, this will be our storm over the next 48 hours, moving through. And the thing about winter and hurricane season is, versa versa, fire and ice, is that winter precipitation accumulates over time. And so the further we get in, it becomes more problematic. So we got a couple of storms rolling through, and we're getting our volcano signatures down by Guatemala and up into Mexico. And yes, they have volcano ranges up through here. And so our heat is coming back. And so we will have to watch for more large eruptions in Mexico and Guatemala and possibly in the Caribbean. And there's our large moisture plume coming through. Good news is we're down to 65 rivers flooding. So for us, that is the best we've been doing in a long time. We got like a 1 or 2 day possible wait on. As you can see, the worst of the rivers that aren't really going down are the ones in the middle by the Edgar Cayce map area. And so, yeah, just go into the. You can see we got some snow going across certain areas, and okay, let me go back to this, and that will be moving east. And so let's go back down our road. Do I have anything good? So yeah, like I was saying, you got freeze on Thursday, and you got the storm on Thursday, and then the freeze on Friday. Congratulations to Black Panther. What an amazing movie. I loved that movie, by the way. I highly recommend it to everybody. Okay, so there's a look at what we're going through. Quick for the day. I'm going to try and put out some non-weather videos today. Got some on Planet X, and then there were 2 tsunamis on Mars. Not yesterday. I guess it happened a long time ago. I want everybody to stay cool and be cool. And thank you guys for being supportive, awesome, and amazing. And if you want to continue to support Thor News, I will leave my PayPal link in the description box. You guys have been keeping me up and running, doing this full time for 3 years now, although I've been doing it for 6 years, and I got a cable bill coming up in a few days. So if you want to help out, it will be greatly appreciated, and I will be putting my nose to the grindstone and just working and trying to put out some funny videos on things other than weather over the next 24 hours, unless, of course, a big weather story pops up. So everybody stay cool. I love you, and let us try and have an excellent end of January. And you know what? When your car dies while you're driving, like on a highway, that's always kind of scary. I had it happen in 2 weeks, and I lived twice. Thank you, Jesus. Okay. Peace out. My heart is with you. God bless everyone.